Hello, I am Saad Al-Aziz, the owner and head instructor of Semper Fortis Jiu Jitsu here in San Antonio, Texas, and here to tackle this week's question of the week. And I know it's been a couple weeks since I've done the question of the week, but here goes this week. So the question was, if the one thing you can do to improve your recovery for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and improve your health, what would that one thing be? What one thing would I recommend? And at 53, I'm 53 years old. I'm very in tune, with trying to do things to improve my health. Because one, I realize when you're 53 years old, you've lived more years on this planet than you've got left to live. In all likelihood, chances of making 106 are pretty slim. So I'm very in tune to man, what things can I do, for my health, to improve my health, to improve my recovery in jiu-jitsu, because it takes a toll on my body, and just improve my overall well-being. So if there was one thing that I could recommend, which is this week's question, that one thing is sleep. Get enough sleep. And when I say get enough sleep, for years they've been recommending 8 hours of sleep, and that needs to be your minimum baseline every night. 8 hours. Not 6, I know a guy that gets by on 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Not that. Because that is going to be detrimental to your health. Getting enough sleep is absolutely the most critical thing you can do for your good health. And can't recommend it enough. Now, of course, there's other things, but you only ask for one. And my number one is make sure you get 8 hours of sleep a night. Not just you, but your kids. Make sure they get 8 hours of sleep a night. At a minimum. Not 6 is good enough. No, 6 is not good enough. 8 is what they need every night so they can be as productive as possible when they go to school the next day, so their body can recover. The benefits of sleep are sharper brain. You're going to think better. It's going to boost your mood. How often have you gone to bed, maybe thinking negatively about a situation, and then when you wake up in the morning, you feel better about it. It's not as bad as I felt last night. And it's like that old saying goes, before making a big decision, sleep on it. Can't stress that enough. Sleep on it, you will wake up in a better mood, better mental clarity, understand the situation better. Sleep is critical for a healthier heart. Lack of sleep will contribute to heart disease. Athletic achievement, sleep is critical, being well rested. Could you perform well on 2 hours of sleep? Some people may, but not for an extended period of time. You need your sleep. Your athletic recovery, your body repairs itself, during your sleep. So you absolutely need to get sleep for athletic recovery, to control inflammation. There's so many good things your body does while you're sleeping that are critical to your good health. It steadies your blood sugar. It will help you fight off germs, fighting off sickness and disease. And also a factor in weight control. Will help with your weight control, getting your 8 hours a night sleep. And when I talk about sleep and how critical it is, if you think about through evolution, your sleep time, if it wasn't so important, we'd have cut it out. Because when you're asleep, in the Stone Age, you're most vulnerable. That's when, a predator could get you. You're not growing crops, you're not hunting for food, you're not building anything. So if sleep wasn't critical, we would have cut it out. But it's absolutely critical. And even in wildlife, you see that. All animals sleep, and they're most vulnerable when they're asleep. But they need it. And lack of sleep is so detrimental to your health, for instance, that the Guinness Book of World Records will not even recognize the longest period a person can go without sleep. Maybe you can go 2 days, maybe 3 days, maybe 4 days. The Guinness Book of World Records realizes it's so deadly and so detrimental to a person's health to go without sleep for an extended period of time that they won't even acknowledge or any record to contribute to that person trying to break a record. And it's not because, the Guinness Book of World Records is overly concerned about your good health. It's just they realize it's so dangerous to deprive a person of sleep. Now, this is the same organization, like the Guinness Book of World Records. One of their records is a 93-year-old man. It's the oldest man ever to walk on the wings of a plane while it's flying in the air. Now, that's pretty dangerous. I think we would all agree. Or a man underwater getting shot at with spears from a spear gun. He caught 14 of them, set the world record. The Guinness Book of World Record. 14 spears catching underwater, being shot directly at him. He caught them. If he didn't catch them, it had gone pretty bad. Free falling from the highest point in the sky to where you're almost going into outer space. There's a world record. A person free falled and broke the speed of sound. That's insane. Definitely not healthy. I guess you free fall so far, and then, I guess whenever he broke the record, then he pulled his parachute and then landed. It was like, that can't be safe. Evel Knievel, like he held the world record for jumping 13 buses on his motorcycle. And then some guy went along and broke it like in maybe 99, 2000. He jumped 14 buses. Evel Knievel held the record for the longest time. And they had said Evel Knievel had broke like every bone in his body, but he holds a number of world records, and Guinness was happy to record his breaking of the records or the breaking of his bones. Yet, they will not record a lack of sleep deprivation. So I don't know what the world record would be. What could a person go 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 10 days? How long could a person go without sleep? Because they know body functions start to break down, hallucinations start to happen, bad things happen on sleep deprivation. So many of us in life, we deprive ourselves of sleep over extended periods of time. Maybe you don't go 3 days without sleep, but maybe you go weeks, which is 3 or 4 hours, And then we wonder, man, why are we having so many health problems? You need sleep for good health. It's critical. I would even, if a person had to choose between getting adequate sleep and getting exercise, I would recommend sleep over exercise. You have to get your sleep. And it's critical for you, it's critical for your children, for your family members. You cannot continue to go on limited sleep and not have adverse health effects. So you want your body to recover for jiu-jitsu? Get your 8 hours of sleep. And like I said, make 8 hours the goal every night. Like that's the minimum. Don't be like, 6 or 7 is close enough. No, we're not going for close enough. We're talking about your good health. 8 hours the minimum. So if you get 9, fantastic. That's even better. Getting a good night's sleep is the number one thing I would recommend that you can do for your good health. And that's this week's question of the week. Got any questions for next week or the week after, or anything that you want me to address? Feel free to either make a comment below, hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or just when you see me in the school and say, hey, well, if sleep is number 1, what's number 2? Or whatever other questions about jiu-jitsu and health. Or, of course, I like to talk about dogs and guns too. So, anything's fair game. All right, my friends. Hope everybody's having a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I look forward to seeing y'all in 2022. All right, ciao.